Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. This is Lunar Goddess Sarah. I'm Sarah, and that's a blooper. Ding. I'm Sarah, and I'll be your intuitive guide and your reader today. So I am back, my hometown here for a little bit. Still in the process of moving. If you guys are following my move, everything is moved over. I have a doctor's appointment over here for my shoulder. So I wanted to do a video here for you guys and to check into the energies of the twin flames. So, you know, I've been using these dedicated decks here for a while, the Diane Garris decks that she's so graciously, I guess I'm having throat chakra activations today because I can't talk. She's so graciously gifted me to use on the channel. I'm just thrilled. So these three are all Diane Garris decks. You can find her on Etsy. I will try to remember to put her link in the description box, but if not, you can look back and it should be in past videos. I've just had a lot going on. So I'm so grateful though. And then I wanted to use a tarot deck here, the Muse Tarot. And I wanted to let you guys know, very exciting announcement if you haven't heard already, that our early bird registration for the April group coaching program is now activated. It's now open until Sunday, March 13th at midnight Pacific Standard Time. So that gives you this whole entire week until Sunday to decide if you'd like to join our program. It's a 4-month transformational twin flame group coaching program. You have access to 2 seasoned healers and coaches, myself and Holly. We ran the group that we just finished up there in February. You have access also to a private social media group. It's not Facebook, by the way. It's a private, safer social media platform that we've chosen to use, where that group will remain open indefinitely. So you have access to other people in the group who are on this journey. You're going to make lifelong friends, sisters and brothers, and you're going to have support basically 24/7. Holly and I joined in on the group as well. So we're there I won't say every single day, but we're there almost every single day, and we're trying to answer as many questions as possible. We're giving energy updates, sometimes astrological updates, and we're really just there to guide and support you. You'll also receive 2 ebooks and possibly more, the Abundance Workbook, as well as a Twin Flame Journey Workbook. We're working on one of those, but you may also get some gifts within those 4 months, so you may also get more workbooks as we work on them. And there's just so much more, guys. This is a program that's designed to lift you up, designed to bring you into your power, help you reach inner union, come out of that longing energy, and come into a place of peace within yourself, of abundance and joy, where you can look at this journey from a different perspective instead of, this is a journey that's causing me pain and longing. And, you know, we want to bring you guys out of that mindset of this is just for the physical union. Physical union is a beautiful part of this journey, but there's so much more to this journey. There's your mission, there's your soul purpose, there's your activation of your soul's purpose, there's uniting with self, uniting with others, finding your soul tribe, and look at this, finding your value, that root chakra, divine feminine. So finding your value, understanding why you're here, healing from past trauma. So in addition to working with us, you're also going to have access to Holly and myself to work with us individually one-on-one. That's separate from the group, but we do offer those. And a lot of people in our last group did take advantage of that. So a lot of people not only joined the group, but we're also doing private healing sessions and coaching sessions with us to transform their journey and help them reach the goals that they just couldn't seem to reach before. So we're so excited, guys. We're so excited. We're really, this is just, you know, we're learning every time we offer a group, every time we start a group, every time we finish a group, every time we complete something, we're learning more and more and more. So it's just going to get better and better. But you are going to save $600 if you join the group now versus if you decide to join later on. Okay, so juicy. So value, root chakra, communication. Yeah, there's throat chakra that was coming up. Hello, throat chakra. And then we have the 6th chakra, which is, of course, the 3rd eye. That's your inner knowing, that's your intuition. That's the thing that says, I just know that this is true. I just know that this person's lying to me. I just know that this isn't right for me, etc., etc. And it can be something as simple as this is what I need to eat for breakfast, to as important as this is the decision I need to make and it's going to be painful, but I need to leave this relationship, this job, this country, this state, etc., and I need to make some changes. Okay, so Divine Feminine is definitely, you guys are definitely working on communicating. I'm hearing first with self, like how you communicate with self, which transforms your relationship to others. This journey is all about the relationship to self. Your twin flame, by the way, guys, if you're new to this channel, is you in another body. It's another physical incarnation of you walking around having different experiences in a different body. That's why we have the twin flame mirror. And that's why looking at this from a 3D perspective doesn't work. And that's one of the things we teach in our program. If you continue to look at this from a 3D perspective, you're going to be hit against a wall. You're basically going to find yourselves up against a wall. You're going to feel like you're stuck. You're going to feel like you're trapped. You're going to feel like this is a curse. And you're not going to be able to move forward because you're looking at it like this person is separate from me, but in fact, they're not. In fact, it's you. It's a duplicate you. So we have to look at this is what are they mirroring to me with their silence? What are they mirroring to me when they're choosing someone else? Okay, and it's not always if they're choosing someone else, I'm not choosing myself, although it can be, but there are many other possibilities. We explore all of that. We help guide you. Where is it that I'm blind on this journey and that I can't see properly? We step into the shadow work. We step into things that make you uncomfortable so that you can achieve what it is you came here to achieve. Our goal is to get as many people awakened as possible on this journey. The more people that come into union, the more likely it is that you come into union, guys, right? And same, it goes for all of us. We're in the rowboats, the paddle boats together. Nobody's ahead, nobody's behind, including your divine counterpart. Nobody has it easier. So we look at the masculine collective here and we see self-love. So both, very interesting that both the masculine and the feminine are working in that root chakra. So you might have some root chakra pains or activations. There might be pains, the root can be the very base of your spine. It can also be in the urinary tract area, although that's a little higher up, more like the sacral, the second chakra, but sometimes you can get some pains there. And I know that's been going on in the collective, so I wanted to mention that. And they also have the angel of intentions. So what this tells me is that the masculine is working on finally accepting themselves. For instance, if your masculine is, my voice just cracked. It's been doing that lately, like I'm like a teenage boy. Ugh. For instance, if your masculine, let's say you're white, your masculine is black. Let's say they are not accepting of the fact that they're black and they make comments about being the only black man in the room or being the only black woman or et cetera, et cetera. They have to learn to love themselves and accept themselves before they can step into a dynamic as powerful as yours. It's not as simple as, well, if they love me, why don't they want to be with me? They do want to be with you, but they don't feel worthy of this divine connection. They don't feel worthy of your powerful embrace. Because beautiful divine feminines, you are so blessed. You hold the divine mirror up to them and say, look at your shadows, look at your flaws. I love you anyway. But they have to love themselves. They have to be able to hold that mirror up to themselves and say, I love you. So that's what they're working on at this time, is seeing themselves in a positive light versus blaming themselves for all the mistakes that they've made and all the things that they've done to hurt people and hurt themselves and disappoint others. And, they really have to get out of that woe is me victim mentality. And a lot of you feminines have walked away from that. Like, I'm just not going to I'm just not. We're not doing that. I'm not going to be in this energy with you where you're like, poor me, woe's me. So the divine feminine has really stepped away from that and said, this is no longer going to be the story that I wish to activate in my life. So if you wish to stay in victimhood, divine masculine, I'm just going to be over here working on my own value. And that's exactly what you should be doing to assist your counterpart, right? In activating their self-love. They're definitely setting intentions for their life. They're setting intentions for moving forward. If some of them have already stepped out, many of them have stepped out of karmic relationships and situations, but if they haven't, this is definitely a clue that they are talking to and dancing with, okay, communicating with the angel of intentions, with their guides. They're very aware that they are being guided at this point in the journey. They're very aware. And they're asking for like divine intervention. They're asking, please help me set my intentions high and allow me to be that loyal divine masculine that I know myself to be. They're tired of disappointing people. They're tired of disappointing you. They're tired of disappointing themselves, like first and foremost. They're tired of being, having to apologize. And frankly, they're tired of being alone. A lot of them, as I stated in past readings, maybe even 6 months, 9 months ago, the karmics left them. The karmics found out about you. They found out about many things, okay? Secrets the divine masculine was keeping, and they said, I'm done with you. I'm actually going to be the one that leaves you. And then that made the divine masculine feel temporarily better because they didn't have to be the bad guy. They didn't have to be the one that ended the relationship. But that's kind of cowardly because it wasn't aligned, and you're not acting from self-love when you stay in a situation that's not aligned with your highest good and your true self. So they have to be honest about what their intentions are. And they're only going to be allowed to come forward, divine feminine, if their intentions are pure and honest at this time. And I'm also hearing devotion. They're going to have to be devoted to this journey, devoted to themselves, devoted to truth, and devoted to you. As a lot of you have set the bar very high. Okay, so a tarot card does not want to come out at this time. Okay, so we're going to come back to this. Very interesting. That rarely happens. And we're going to go over here to the divine masculine journey to union here, the healing deck, what it is that they're currently working on. Yep, karmic relationships, vulnerability, absolutely, abandonment issues. Okay, vulnerability, being open and vulnerable does not equate to weakness. That's where they're learning to just be more pure and authentic and speak and communicate in a more pure and authentic way. Instead of, in the past where they would be vulnerable and then step back and kind of step into their cave, or I call it their bat cave, they're now in a place where they don't want to do that anymore because you're like, wow, that's really immature. And they feel like a little boy or a little girl when they do that. It doesn't feel empowering to them anymore to do that to you or to do that to others. They just want to show up as their true, authentic self. Karmic relationships. I perceive where I already am as safe and comfortable. This is pretty old energy, but this will apply to a select few of you out there and your counterparts. The emotions of the masculine may not be all in a karmic relationship. Sometimes masculine energy engages in and remains in karmic cycles, patterns, and relationships because these feel safe, familiar, and controllable. So yeah, they put themselves in this endless loop, and then they're miserable, and they're always thinking about the feminine, missing the feminine. In many cases, remaining in these kinds of liaisons stunts the soul growth and expansion you planned for this lifetime, divine masculine. That's a very harsh reality that needs to be really looked at. The child is going to eventually grow whether it wants to or not. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there. The child that doesn't want to be vulnerable is starting to realize they're working on their abandonment issues as a collective, okay, the divine masculine energy, including your inner divine masculine, divine feminine. I am aware that I pushed you away emotionally before you could abandon me. If your counterpart chose another person and you're like, why am I not good enough? What do they have that I don't have? I guarantee you your masculine couldn't answer those questions. They wouldn't, because there isn't an answer, because it's not a real connection. You will not find those karmic connections in the heart space, in the heart chakra. They don't exist there. Soulmates can be there. Kindreds can be there. Twin flames are definitely there. But a karmic relationship is based on karma. It's not based on a true connection. But it can feel like it, because karma can feel that strong and can feel like that much of a magnetic pull towards someone. But they really have to get to the core of this deep wound that they carry, that people are going to abandon them in their lives. So they're dealing with this childhood fear of being left. And this can go back to feeling like you've been left in a store by your mom. I have those memories where my mom was right around the corner and I was stuck reading magazines because I was an avid reader, and then I felt like I was abandoned. Where did that come from, right? Is it generational? Where do I need to heal this? And yes, for me, it was very generational. Some of you have heard me talk about my grandfather, and a lot of you will have stories like this, but my dad's dad passed when he was 35 from a tragic accident. He was a naval pilot, and 2 planes collided midair over the Atlantic Ocean, right over Virginia Beach, and all the pilots, there were 4 of them, they all perished. And there were witnesses to this, and it was tragic and traumatic. So that abandonment issue that my grandmother experienced, I carried with me. I carried with me because I was the one that needed to heal it. So I always thought that I was going to be abandoned. So I would always abandon others first. I would always leave a good relationship first so that person couldn't hurt me. And I would find myself involved in relationships that couldn't go anywhere because it wasn't scary. You can't abandon me if you're 8,000 miles away. You can't abandon me if you're already emotionally unavailable. But it made me emotionally unavailable. But I was the one, that was my soul contract, to come here and to heal that wound that my grandmother carried of abandonment that she probably didn't even know she carried, or she didn't know how to heal it because times were different back then, okay? So look deeper, guys. Look deeper beneath the surface. That's what you're here to do. That's what this journey is all about, my loves. And I'm here to support you. Holly and I are here to support you. This is not our first rodeo. It's not our first lifetime. We've been on this journey before. We've met before. Holly is a soul sister. A lot of you and I have met before. A lot of you have reached out to me, and there's a lot of soul connections in this collective. We're here to support each other. This happens to be my calling at this time. Manipulating. When I feel like I'm being manipulated, this is for the divine feminine and her healing. I feel like manipulating back. Very interesting that you're healing that manipulation energy and the divine masculine's healing the abandonment energy. Okay? So where the divine masculine has felt abandoned, he will fight back, right? He will abandon. And then the feminine goes and tries to manipulate. I can't talk, guys. I can't talk. The energy is whack in March. You tried to manipulate the situation, like maybe you try to ruin the karmic connection, or maybe you try to just maybe cross boundaries that you shouldn't be crossing, divine feminine. So think about, for some of you, think about where you might have done that. Where you might have played a game of power within your connection. This is really important. You need to heal this right now, and you're going to help your masculine heal the abandonment. That's the mirroring that's happening right now, today. And then you have unity. How is this achieved without you? Like, in other words, if we're in physical separation, which the majority of counterparts are in the month of March, things are going to shift drastically April through August. That's something we're going to talk about in depth in the program as well. And I'll also talk about it over on Patreon. It just hasn't been the right time to talk about it. Probably because we're still in the trenches of March, of December through March, which have been a bit of a hell, to be honest. The energy of March is so far not really enjoyable. There are bright moments, yes, bright spots, but it's a very, a lot of you are still feeling hopeless. That's why I'm continuing with these readings. I want to lift you guys up. I want to get you to a place where you feel empowered, where you feel like you can do this, you can continue, you can go on. You are the light, divine feminine. This journey is for you. You carry that light within you. Don't allow that light to be extinguished simply because your counterpart can't be present at this time. You are whole. You are already in union with self. And if you feel like you're not, then there's work to be done, okay? There's healing that needs to occur. Holly is an incredible medical intuitive. She's an incredible, she's an animal communicator. She's an incredible healer. In fact, she's the only twin flame healer that I trust at this point in my journey and that I have for the past year and a half. Okay, there's no one else that I would go to. I don't go and get readings done anymore. I don't go and, even astrologers, I won't tell them about the journey because it's too private. It needs to be sacred at this point in the journey, guys. But Holly can look in and see the connection. She can see where you're at. She can see if there's some entanglement that needs to be untangled. She can see where your counterpart is at. Okay, and she can see if this is a true twin flame connection. So she's such an asset to this coaching program, guys. I can't even begin to explain it. And we're going to bring her on as soon as I get settled next week or the week after. We're going to bring her on this channel and we're going to introduce her to you guys so you can meet her, feel her energy through video. We're going to show our faces, which I don't often do because it's been a hell of a journey. It's been a hell of a journey, and I haven't really wanted to show my face a lot because honestly, I felt beaten down and battered a lot of the time. So that's why mainly I've been behind the camera. But again, that's going to start to shift, and we're going to start to see that anti-aging or aging backwards for the feminine, the activation of the DNA to that crystalline structure. And there are just so many gifts that come with the darkness. Like, I'm a Scorpio. So, and many of you are. I know many of you have reached out to me. Many of you are my Scorpio sisters, or you have a strong placement in Scorpio. You know, you might have a Mars in Scorpio. You might have, that's super powerful, by the way. Watch out. You might have a North Node in Scorpio, a South Node in Scorpio, a Moon in Scorpio, a Rising in Scorpio, a Venus in Scorpio. Like, all of those are Jupiter in Scorpio. All of those are powerful placements. But if you have any Scorpio energy in you, you are going to feel like you're here to transform. You're here to live 1,000 lives in one lifetime. You're here to die and be reborn again. So I don't shy away from that death energy. I'm a Scorpio. It doesn't scare me. And where it does scare me, I know that that's an invitation to go deeper into myself. And that's what this journey does, is we die a million times on this journey. We go through separations. It's painful. It's excruciating. And then we're reborn again to come back to the next level of self. Guys, you are rising to the next level of self. But do you believe in yourself? Do you believe what I'm saying? Or are you going to write yourself off and say, no, that's someone else. I'm not that strong. Because you are that strong. Your soul signed up for this and came here to do exactly what you're doing right now, to be exactly where you are right now. No matter the conditions, no matter where your mental state is, you said, I know what I'm going to face potentially, and I want to do it because I want to ascend in this lifetime. I want to guide others, you know, from the other side. In between lifetimes, I want to be that guide that helps people reach their truest potential. And if you're like me, you're also going to play jokes on the people that you're guiding from the other side. Like, don't be surprised if, you know, you'll know if I'm your guide. I'm just going to say that. If you guys have known me enough, if you've been following me enough or have worked with me in any capacity, you'll know that I have a pretty healthy sense of humor, and you have to on this journey, because otherwise you're not going to survive. You've got to infuse this journey with some light and joy and humor. And, you know, even when it comes to the connection and the communication or lack thereof, find a way to make light of it. And go, my counterpart's in the bat cave again, you know, instead of like, oh, my counterpart hates me, they don't love me, they're never coming back. Like, the counterpart, right? The divine masculine's in the bat cave again. He's just hanging out with the other bats, right? Doing their bat thing. We have to find a way to make light of the situation. Otherwise, it's going to become way too much. So where is it, feminine? This is that codependence that you're still healing. Little bit of remnants of the codependency. Where is it that you have overgiven, and then felt like you've overstepped your own boundaries? Like you did it. Nobody else did it. But by you overstepping your boundaries and you not showing what your worth is to others, you're showing them that you're not worthy. You're then showing others that they can step all over you and that they can walk all over your boundaries, and that you're going to allow it because they're seeing you do it with yourself. You set the tone for every relationship in your life. Whether you want to believe it or not, you're the one that decides how you're going to be treated. If you're the common denominator, that was my epiphany moment. When I had karmic relationship after karmic relationship with some soulmates infused in there. Before I met my twin, and then I had big karmic before the twin, like narcissistic, you know, personality kind of karmic. Y'all, I know that y'all have been there. Super fun, but super, like, one of my greatest teachers. I'm so grateful for him. I truly am. But you guys know that you can have that aha moment that goes, I am the common denominator in all of my relationships, including your relationship with family, with friends, with coworkers, with the world, with self. I am the common denominator. If I don't like what I'm seeing, I need to be the one to change it. If I'm attracting people that, let's say, cheat on me or lie to me, it's not their fault. You've chosen them on some level. You've made an agreement with yourself that you're going to choose people that cheat on you or lie to you. So it's not your fault, by the way. It's not your fault. It's not their fault. They're playing a role, and they're doing it very well. And maybe at some point in time, you'll be able to thank them, because on a soul level, it's a pure soul, okay? But they came here to play that role of the bad guy, of the asshole, of the jerk, of the cheater, of the liar, the manipulator, the narcissist, whatever, you know, the labels. But deep down, they triggered you to teach you a lesson so that you would choose yourself over and over and over. That's what this lifetime is for, guys. That's what this journey is for, choosing yourself over and over and over and over and over, again and again and again. Will you choose yourself, or will you continue with your old cycles? Your masculine will stay in these karmic connections until you choose yourself. Again, this is not a blame game. I'm not sitting here blaming you. I'm saying you're the common denominator in these situations. And you can move through so much forgiveness when you're like, holy shit, I'm the common denominator. I've chosen this. Okay, but why have I chosen this? Then you go deeper. Move past the self-blame and go deeper to why have I chosen this? That's where the work is to be done. That's what we're going to focus on in this program. That's what we focus on in your private sessions, releasing you from the torture chamber of your own mind, of your own cycles, of your own patterns of abandonment, of lack of self-love, okay, of codependency, of, playing games, this manipulative energy, like all of these toxic cycles and patterns and belief systems that you may carry that aren't even yours in the first place. We're going to look at those and examine those on a much deeper level to get to the bottom of why this is happening so that you can choose yourself in every situation, every relationship, every situation, every lifetime, every encounter with your counterpart. The people that are choosing themselves over and over and over will see that reflection in the divine mirror of their counterpart. But you'll also see it in the world. Guys, expand your view beyond this connection. Expand your view beyond physical union. What am I here for? Why am I here? At this time, with everything that's going on, all the unrest, okay, all the chaoticness that's happening in the world, the civil unrest, the unraveling of the matrix. I have to be so careful with how I word things on here. It's a pain in the ass. But think about that. Why am I here at this time with all of this going on? As the world is ascending and coming out of its shell, the egg has been cracked. It's like they just show me like little dinosaurs. I don't know why dinosaurs, maybe that's a sign for somebody, but little dinosaurs walking around. Some like in your infancy. That's kind of where we are right now in humanity's evolution. We're not as far as we might think, but we're farther than we think at the same time. Some of you may ask yourselves, why did I incarnate at this time with all like the shit show that's happening right now, the political shit show, the everything? Why did I choose this? Because you're strong enough to move through this. You're strong enough to be a leader. You're powerful. You have the soul experience. And you wanted to. You chose this. We have to remember that in our darkest moments. I chose this. Your human self, the ego, wants to come undone. The ego is coming undone, and it will cling on for dear life because it doesn't want to die. Its biggest fear is that it dies. It doesn't matter. That's why when we leave this life, it's hard for us to comprehend how our loved ones can just go so quickly, right? They go towards the light, and you hear, once they saw the light, they shed their body immediately, and the ego just vanished. It evaporated. And it's hard for us to understand, weren't they worried about missing us? No, the ego, that's the ego. See, the ego isn't all bad, but that's the ego, the attachment to the body, the attachment to self, the attachment to this world, this false illusionary world that we call Earth. Like this matrix energy. Earth is real, the matrix is not. I should clarify that. So this ego that we have about physical union and needing to be together and that being the end-all be-all goal, it's fucking up your journey, guys. It's gonna keep you stuck. The people that are really free on this journey aren't the ones in physical union, although they might be, but the people that are truly free on this journey are the ones that have really done the ego work. The ones that have detached from the outcome, detached from the physical counterpart, and then typically the irony is then that's when the counterpart shows up. They've detached from the need to know what happens next. This is why when I do my readings, yes, I pull cards because they're pretty. You guys want to see them, and they tell a story. I don't need them. Most readers don't, but they're a tool, right? They're a divination tool. But you'll notice that my readings it's not all about the counterpart, even if the title says that, right? I have to catch your attention, right? That's what we have to do. That's our job here on YouTube as readers. We want to catch your attention. And then we want to draw you in to tell you the real juicy stuff, the stuff that's really important. It's not what the masculine's thinking right now, by the way. It's where are you at on your journey? Where is the work to be done for you? But I have to draw you in, because what sucks is that when I have a title that's about the divine feminine and her healing, you guys probably aren't going to watch it. So I want you to hear the messages in these readings. These are channeled messages from my powerful guides that use me as a medium, that use me as a tool, that use me as a communicator tool, so that I can get out these messages. And I go straight into channeling, and that's why I talk fast in these readings. I normally don't talk that fast. That's why you hear me stumble over words. That's why you'll hear me, fumble, trying to find the right words, because I'm channeling, I'm receiving the download so fast, and I want to get everything out to you. So I want you guys to understand that these readings, it's more of, this is an educational tool. This is a classroom. I see this as my classroom for you. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. No hard feelings whatsoever. I teach from a place of experience. I teach from a place, I'm not going to say mistakes, because I don't believe there are mistakes, but from places where I have learned on my journey how to do things differently the next time. And I teach from a place of strength, compassion, but strength. Because I don't want you guys to stay stuck. There are readers out there who will keep you stuck on the karmic, on what everyone else is doing. You're never going to evolve on your journey if that's all you're listening to, that's all you're watching, that's all you're tuned into. You're tuning into the radio station, that's the karmic radio station, so you're going to continue to see more of that in your reality. Why not tune into self-love, value of self, acceptance of self, healing codependency, healing your abandonment wounds, setting those intentions, trusting your intuition, learning how to use the gifts that you have, creating abundance for yourself, healing your fear of being vulnerable, healing your fear of not coming into physical union. We're going to heal that in the program, guys. We're going to heal that fear that you have. What if I don't come into physical union? What if you don't? Right? We're going to talk about that. Let's talk about that. Is it the end of the world? No. Why isn't it the end of the world? We'll address that. I want you guys to feel safe in your bodies on this journey, regardless of the outcome. I know this is an unpopular opinion. Well, it's all about the physical union. No, it's not. No, it's not. I'd be lying to you. If I sat here and said that it was, I'd be lying to you. And what good is that going to do? My soul is divine truth. I'm divine truth. I have no choice but to speak the truth. Even if it's unpopular, even if my voice shakes, even if I stumble over my words, okay? I want you guys to move forward. I want you guys to stop longing. I want you guys to feel empowered with your choices. I want you guys to find love in whatever form and capacity that is for you. I don't care if it's, you find a tree that you love. You say, Sarah, I fell in love with this tree. I walk to it every day. I sit in it. I love on it. And I am so happy. Fan-fucking-tastic. I don't care what form that comes in. You adopt another animal. Fuck yes. You save a life. Guys, think outside of yourselves. Volunteer. Adopt an animal. Like if there are homeless pets in your neighborhood, get them fixed, get them neutered. Help in some way. Help at a homeless shelter or a food barn, or in some way, if you have a lot of abundance already, think about donating some of that. Think about letting go. Like that's a form of ego work, letting go of some of that money, spending it on something outside of yourself, right? I just, guys, we've got to look beyond the physical counterpart. That's the only way to move forward, truly move forward, and experience your abundance on this. Don't you want abundance? It's like sometimes I'm like, don't you want abundance? Don't you want to be happy? Don't you want to be able to go on that vacation or buy that nice couch for yourself, or be able to help your family, or be able to help those in need, or just have an animal farm, right? I just made a reference there. Some of you will get it. Don't you want that for yourselves? Don't you want to be able to be free from the label? I'm going to end there because there's a lot of powerful revelations in this video, and I don't even know what to call this video, to be honest. I didn't know all that was going to come through. It's early morning. It's just now 10 o'clock. I did not know all that was going to come through, but I knew that this was an important reading. And I knew that despite my life being in boxes right now, because I'm still in the middle of moving furniture, I've bought new furniture, the bed didn't work out, so now I'm going to be on an air mattress while I find a bed. It's like the couches aren't going to be delivered maybe for 6 to 8 more weeks. Like there's just a variety of things that aren't together, but this is where I'm supposed to be, and this is what needed to happen right now. Okay, so acceptance of the present moment is how we get to the next moment. You deny yourself the present moment, you're going to continue that present moment in a cycle over and over and over again. Let's not do that. So sending you guys a lot of love, a lot of support, and I'll see you on the next reading. I will most definitely, as the channeling comes through, I can't help but do a reading because I have to get it out somehow. So you'll be hearing from me probably a lot this month, and definitely into next month. Next month is going to blow up in a good way, by the way, in a good way. So let's get through March together. Let's step into that arena of valuing yourself, okay? Valuing your contribution to this world, to this earth, to this planet, to society, to your neighborhood, to your family. What is it? Like, let's do a writing exercise. What is it that I value about myself? What do I value most about myself? And then make a list and then read that every day, okay? I love you guys very much. I'll see you in the paddle boats out there in the 5D, and I'll see you on the next video. Take great care.